Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We're going to try this again. So we're going to do those on my left and those on my right. And you never know what you may win if you're the loudest. So on my left, good evening. Those on my right, good evening. Good evening. All right, I think the left one, right? All right, there we go. All right. So, welcome to the Graduate Student Association Make a Difference Awards Ceremony 2019. We are excited to have you. We are excited that we're in this new space and we are going to have fun tonight. We pause as an association to celebrate the life of grad students who are making an impact across the WMU community and the Kalamazoo community. And so we celebrate in fine style. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? There we go. So we don't have to go to the Oscars to go on the red carpet. We have our own red carpet with our own photographers and we are all superstars, right? Right? Once you're part of the WMU community, you're automatically a superstar. You all know that, right? All right. I won't get into that one. So, but with us this afternoon, technology, with us this afternoon, we have some specially invited guests. And we're honored to be here, to have them here with us this evening. And I'm just going to pause to welcome our guests. So first and foremost, we have the chairman of the board of trustees, Chairman James Bolger and his wife with us this evening. Chairman Bolger. We have the president of the Faculty Senate, Dr. Richard Gresham. We have our Student Affairs Vice President, Dr. Anderson. We have our Diversity and Inclusion Vice President, Dr. Auntie Candy. All right. And a host of other specially invited guests, but we pause because we know that what these individuals do, they're always busy. And the time that they get to celebrate with us, we are very appreciative of that. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I want to let you know to sit back, relax, don't drink too much and fall asleep, but sit back, relax, and enjoy this evening. It's for you all to enjoy. So welcome, welcome, welcome again, each and every one of you. Clap yourselves. Now, to bring some live to the show, you all know who I'm going to call on next, right? I know. So to bring some live to the show, I now introduce to you our president, the one and only Amari Pineda.
Is this on? All right, well, I see your faces, and you all look way too excited, and I'm afraid I'm about to disappoint you tonight, so I don't know if you heard Craig correctly, but he said, please welcome Amaury Pineda, not please welcome Tom Cruise, so hold your horses, okay? It's just me, just me. You all right? Okay. Now, is that me over there? Just Tom? Not him, okay. There are two Tom Cruise over there? All right. I'm looking good. Now, unlike my friend Tom Cruise, despite my good looks, I cannot be an actor. I just keep forgetting my lines. And it wasn't always like this, you know? It all began when I started getting old. Yeah. I'm just too old now. I just can't remember things. And you know what the sad part is? That I'm not getting old the way normal people get old. Trustee Bolger, you would testify to this. You know that when normal people get old, they actually get benefits. They get Medicare, Social Security, a guaranteed front seat on the bus. They even get discounts at the movies. I don't get any of that. Not me. Because I'm getting old the way we graduate students get old. And you know how that goes. We start grad school looking 22, and about a year later, we look like we're 74. Man, we got bags under our eyes, grumpy all the time, our knee hurts, even our bowel movement changes. It's horrible, I'm telling you, for real. We don't even have blood anymore. We got coffee running through the veins. You know it's true. It's like that. Man. And if some of you are thinking, well, that doesn't apply to me, because this is your first semester or your first academic year, oh, trust me, give it some time. By summer 2, you will look like one of us. I promise you. Now, you people are laughing at this, but you know, it was very painful for me to come to this realization. And you wanna know how I found out? I went to the doctor the other day for a headache, just a headache. And when the doctor walked into the room, he's looking at my records, he's like, so, Mr. Pineda, it seems that you're here for your regular prostate exam. I said, excuse me? A prostate exam? He said, Mr. Pineda, a man your age, you should have gone through a couple of these by now. I was like, what? Man, I'm 31 years old. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, 31? I said, hold on a second. I said, oh, my apologies. I'm sorry. It says here on your record, but it's just that I talked to the nurse and she told me that you're a PhD student, so I just assumed that you were pretty old. And he started laughing at me. It's like, whoa. But if you know me well, you know I play dirty. I wouldn't let this guy get away with that. This wasn't an assault just on me, it was an affront on all of us. So I just started looking at his jacket, you know, right where his title is. I was just staring at him. It's like, oh, so this is where all this unprofessionalism is coming from. You're just a PA. Is there an MD in this software? A real doctor that I can talk to from doctor to doctor? Then he wasn't laughing anymore. He wasn't laughing. He didn't like that. Oh, no. Now, I must confess that not everything about grad school is so bad. No. I actually have learned many useful things. For example, I know how to draw generalizations about the population from just surveying a sample. You wanna see? All right. Raise your hand if you have or you're about to get a degree in engineering. Raise your hand. Beautiful. Put your hands down. Now, raise your hand if you have or you're about to get a degree in any other field. Just raise your hand. Beautiful. You see? I can say with 95% level of confidence that the future of society is safe. There will be enough people with really good jobs making real money, and there will be also enough Uber drivers to make sure that they go help save after a wild night out. I'm telling you. But please don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. At least you deserve to be here. And that is something that unfortunately not many students can say these days. I'm pretty sure that by now all of you have heard of Operation Varsity Blues, haven't you? Now, for those of you who have been living under a rock for the past several weeks, or if you have been doing nothing but studying for your comprehensive exams, please let me get you up to speed with the rest of the world. Just when we thought that Elizabeth Holmes and Josette Mollet were going to be the greatest hoaxes of the 21st century, Aunt Becky broke our hearts. Aunt Becky. Who's next? Santa Claus? Jesus. The FBI found that a bunch of wealthy parents were bribing their kids' way into the most prestigious colleges in this country. Stanford, Yale, Georgetown, USC, you name it, all of them. They were paying proctors for them to take their kids' SAT exams. In some cases, they even faked their kids' athletic credentials. It was embarrassing, horrible. And when I heard this news, I thought to myself, my initial reaction was that, you know, this is something that would only occur in one of these so-called Ivy League schools. But as we all know, initial reactions are usually wrong or more often incomplete. So then I thought, what if something like this could be happening right here at Western, right under our noses? I couldn't sleep after I thought of that. So I decided to conduct a little investigation of my own. And I'm gonna show you the evidence so you can be the judge. About a year ago, we were looking for our new director of professional development. We let everybody know that we were looking for somebody energetic, passionate. So you will understand that when T-Trans said that he's an accomplished basketball player, a street bowler. We couldn't let that guy out. We just like, wow, he eventually got the job. He's sitting right there. He got the job. But when I was looking at his records again, I mean, I found some evidence that, I don't know, just let's take a look. Let's take a look. I mean, I don't know about you people, but on second viewing, these pictures, they look rather suspicious. I don't know. I'm gonna let you be the judge. Next, we were looking for the director of administration. We needed somebody who was very good at conflict resolution. We needed a person that when we got into heated debates, she could come along and calm things down. So when we learned that our Tabitha Dibaco actually won a Nobel Peace Prize, we were like, wow, she's a keeper. We're gonna let this woman out, so we hired her right on the spot. But then again, I was looking at her records the other day, and the evidence that I found, I mean, just let's take a look. It looks like her, I must say, but there is something that, I don't know. I mean, the kid's smiling and everything, and so is she, but man, I'm gonna let you guys be the judge. You decide whether or not these students are legit. You decide. Operation Varsity Blues have been all over the news, all over the place. People are saying, oh my God, how did these parents dare to cheat the system? How come these university administrators didn't cash on that? How did that happen? But I think that they got the story wrong. I believe that the real news is that this was going on for several years. And for several years, students, hundreds of them, maybe thousands, they got in, even though they didn't qualify. They got in, they graduated, and they went their own with their lives. Which to me is a testament that these SATs or GREs, this is nothing but BS. It's bad science. That's what I think. I think that when you give people the opportunity, you provide them with the tools, and you encourage them, they will deliver. And that's why I am very proud to say that I belong to an institution in Western Michigan University in which it doesn't matter if your parents are rich, it doesn't matter if they went to an Ivy League school, or if they went to college at all, you are welcome here, and they give you the tools that you need. So please put your hands together for Western Michigan University. Beautiful. And just in case you're wondering, why is Amaury moving his hands up and down so much? It's because I have been practicing my impersonation of Beto O'Rourke. Just look at him.
Chance, the scientists are absolutely unanimous on this, that we have no more than 12 years to take incredibly bold action on this crisis.
It's like a 6-year-old who just snorted a line of Pop Rocks. I haven't seen that much hand movement since all that jazz. With that gesturing, who does he remind you of? Even the president noticed.
I think he's got a lot of hand movement. I've never seen so much hand movement. I said, is he crazy or is that just the way he acts? So I've never seen hand movement. I watched him a little while this morning doing, I assume it was some kind of a news conference. And I've actually never seen anything quite like it.
I mean, people, I don't agree with Trump a lot, but you gotta give it to him. He's got a point on this one. Beto O'Rourke looks to me like a high school friend that you haven't seen in many years, who out of nowhere shows up at your doorstep, invites you to coffee, and then out of the sudden tells you, hey man, what do you think about being your own boss? Have you heard of this little company called Amway? Why don't I chase you up with a package? That's what he looks like, I'm telling you. He even told the media that he was born to run for president. What do you mean you were born to run for president? What kind of... I mean, I know he's a little bit older, but to me, he embodies everything I hate about millennials. And for real, he's entitled, allergic to gluten, probably vegan, and obsessed with the environment. Man, he's got all of it. And these millennials, they got to go. I'm tired of millennials. And I know I'm sounding a lot like a Republican, but please don't get me wrong. I actually love young people. But boy, I hate millennials. I hate them. I truly hate them. Now, my hate is not irrational. My hate is grounded in hardcore evidence, and I can prove it to you. Look, there was a time in American history where you could ask any parents about the new born baby, and you could ask, hey, how old is your child? How old is this beautiful baby girl? And they will give you a consistent, reliable answer. Oh, she's only 2 months old. And what about this handsome baby boy over here? He's 6 months old. And what about this baby right here? He's 3 months old. It was beautiful, perfect. But that wasn't cool enough for millennials. Oh no. Millennials have to do their own thing. They gotta change the whole game and make it difficult for all of us. So the other day I was on the phone with a friend of mine from the Dominican Republic. I haven't talked to him in a while. We were just catching up. And he told me that he and his wife, they got a baby. So I asked a question. How old is the baby? Oh, he's 17 weeks old. And I'm like, what? Hold on, man. I need to consult some ancient technology. Man, is there a baby boomer in the house that I can talk to? Because I'm tired of this freaking nonsense. Man, it's just crazy. People, thank you very much for coming in tonight. This is just the beginning. There is so much more fun coming up. I really appreciate you. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Psychology doctoral student here at Western. There's a lot of us over there. So I hope you're all having fun tonight at the movies this evening. Our keynote speaker is a Disney movie lover herself. As one of the youngest senior administrators in a US research institution, her journey to success is as inspiring as Mulan's. She works hard to not get distracted like the dog from Up, and she practices using her voice like the Little Mermaid every day. With 2 young boys at home, she works as hard as Cinderella and finds herself in a whole new world, just like Jasmine and Aladdin. Although she has not yet found Nemo, she has found a way to utilize her impressive background to positively impact Western. Ladies and gentlemen, she truly goes to infinity and beyond. Please join me in welcoming our Provost and Vice President, Dr. Jennifer Butt.
So before I start, I'm going to look straight at Amari. So I spend my life following one of the most inspirational speakers that I've had the opportunity to work with, President Edward Montgomery, who agrees, right? And tonight, I didn't realize I was following a stand-up comedian, complete with video clips, photos, and jokes. 3 things I don't have, but I have a Post-it note. Right, and I am counting on this to get us through. And I also recognize that I am standing between you and dinner, a place that I often spend most of my life standing between people and a meal. And so I thank you so much for joining us as we celebrate truly those individuals who shape the reputation and impact of our university, our graduate students. And we also celebrate the faculty and staff who work alongside you, shaping your experiences, helping you find your way in the world, and truly celebrating your successes as if you were their own. So please, if we can have our faculty and staff, please raise your hand. Let's thank them. I never had the pleasure of supervising PhD students, but we had master's students who worked alongside faculty and research type positions. And I will tell you that there is very little that is more rewarding than watching someone engage in discovery and watching it transform their lives. So it is truly my honor to be here as you celebrate each other and you celebrate the important and critical place that you have in our institution. both as our teachers, as our researchers, and certainly as future professionals and future teachers and researchers after you leave. So thank you for allowing me to steal a couple of minutes. I was given 15, and like any former faculty member, I can take them. But I recognize that I'm not going to be near as entertaining as our first speaker, so I will just spend a couple minutes talking a little bit. I was asked to talk about how I got here. And there is nothing, in my opinion, more boring than listening to somebody talk about all the things they did to get here. So instead, I changed my assignment a little bit. I didn't ask for permission, but y'all can give me a grade when I'm done. Maybe, because I still like grades. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about the things that I wish someone had told me as a graduate student. So I was very fortunate. I got my PhD in industrial and organizational psychology, but found myself in a business school. And I felt like I was super qualified on population and sample. I'm a statistician, so I felt really good about the things that made the content aspects of my job. My comprehensives were challenging, and I felt ready to be a faculty member. But I didn't understand all the things that I needed to be ready to do as a leader. And it's my firm belief, and something that I work on, hopefully inspiring in others every day, that everyone is a leader from wherever they are. So if you're an undergraduate student, I see a table from Western Student Association here tonight. They are our student leaders, but everyone has the opportunity to lead from wherever they are. And there are some things that I wished I had known that I learned along the way that I thought I'd share with you. Okay, does that sound terrible? Because I have no photos. I do speak with my arms, and I have these little floppy things, so it probably makes me look a little more beto than I intended to. But one of the things that I think is really important, and I think one of the things that perhaps characterizes millennials, but I'm not going to denigrate any group up here tonight. I'll let you take care of that, Amari. Wherever you are, whatever you do, it's about people. So we can talk a lot about strategy, we can talk a lot about data. None of those things matter without fully embracing and understanding the human element of your work. Does that sound like that makes some sense? Sounds like something a psychologist would say, doesn't it? Sure does, right? But I think it's really important, and we have so much information available to us. All of you can look up anything at the speed of light on your phones. We have so much information, but without contextualizing that information with the people in which we work, the people in which we serve, the people alongside which we lead, we miss the opportunity to really make an impactful difference. And so one of the things that we know about Gen Z, millennials, and I think we're going all the way back to the beginning of the alphabet with the next generation, something A. One of the things we know is that the human element of our world is now transmitted largely through technology. Okay, and some of you are doing it right now. Yes, I can see everything. And I'm bad at it too, right? But I urge you to look up. I implore you to look around. Get to know people, know their stories, because when decisions are tough, those stories help you relate to someone. If you have to give them bad news, understanding their story helps make that easier. And that's one of the things that I think we get so busy, and I am guilty of this every single day. I've probably missed a meeting with each one of you in some fashion, been late, and always apologize. But if we acknowledge that we do our work with and through humans, and we do so from a place of respect and vulnerability, we do a better job. So all the data in the world doesn't tell you how it's going to affect someone's life. All the data in the world doesn't give you the skills to deliver bad news with dignity and grace. And so my first, lesson, I only have a couple, so don't worry. My first lesson is never forget the human element of whatever it is you do. Because ultimately, you cannot succeed without people in anything, even Uber driving. Woo. Heels just little wobbly there. And this leads to my second point. You can't do anything by yourself. And so I've had the incredible opportunity to lead lots of different kinds of units, some that I inherited a staff, some in which I got to build a staff. Every one of them relied on me working with other people. And some of my incredible colleagues are here with me this evening: Candy, Diane, Tony, Rick, the student associate, Joe and Jess, Amari. My deans are here, Dan. I think I see Christine over there. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. We do this work together. And it's okay to need other people. In fact, they're going to make you stronger, because one of the things that is I have learned through experience in my personal life and experience in my work life is that someone else's strengths will compensate for your weaknesses. And so an actual tip, I think, how many of you have taken StrengthsFinder? I don't know how we do it, but I think every student should. And I'm a clinical I'm not a clinical psychologist. Whoops! I wanted to be like Kyra wherever she went. I'm a psychologist, and so we have the Myers-Briggs, and we have all these different typologies, and I tend to believe these things are kind of hokey. It's terrible to say, but I do. But StrengthsFinder is the first one that I have felt actually helps me do my job better, because I understand myself and I understand my team. And so let me give you one small example. So I took it the other day. I was on a conference call. Not gonna lie, I wasn't listening. And it's pretty easy. So it's a whole bunch of forced choice. Forced choice, like I like to fight forest fires. I like to garden, right? And so sometimes they can be frustrating. So I'm taking it and I just click, give me my report, thinking this is gonna be so silly. It's gonna give me a bunch of letters. It crystallized so many things for me. So many things. And so I got super excited, as I tend to do. And so I have the secret door to my vice provost. It's not really secret because you can see it, but we use it frequently. I use it liberally. It bugs him to death. And so I run in and I say, Chris Cheatham, for those of you that are Chris, I was like, what are your strengths? And so we pulled them up. And lo and behold, they are the exact opposite of mine. Exact opposite. Mine are at my top 5 are at his bottom 5. Right? And it's like we planned it, and like it just crystallized to me exactly why these things matter, is because without knowing it, I was able to hire someone who complemented the things I don't do well. And I get to do the things I love that he absolutely hates. And so find people in your personal and professional life that make you better, and be vulnerable and admit that they make you better, right? So I'm going to embarrass my husband because he's sitting over there and he can't get here fast enough. My husband, Phil Rep, say hi. So a spreadsheet, he uses them because he has to, but it's not his way of thinking. And so one of the things that has made me a better leader and a better person is he is an incredible visualizer of data, an incredible artist. And so those are not things I'm good at. I'm a business professor, so I make really awesome, overly worded, heavily bulleted PowerPoints, right? And so he has helped me think differently about how you present information, right? It's more than just a PowerPoint. It's about how you conceptualize and compartmentalize data and stories in a way that take your point from to great. And so, or make it pretty. I should have brought those, right? Like mine and yours. But so I really encourage you to find what you're good at, own it, absolutely own it, and make sure that when you're able to hire people or choose people that complement you. It's okay to not be good at everything. Trust me, I can list all the things I'm terrible at, probably faster than most people. But what I've learned is that vulnerability, accepting help, and acknowledgement and ownership of strengths is okay, as long as you also acknowledge their weaknesses. Okay, so does anybody want to know my number one strength? Because this one, when I heard it, I was like, well, duh. What do you think? What? It is woo! And woo is not bad. Woo is not like, but it is, and it just totally crystallized everything for me. Okay, and my last point, and then I promise you it's time for dinner. So I don't have a lot of mottos, and maybe you do, and I don't think they're a bad thing, but I do have kind of one rule that I've lived by, and I think it's worked out okay. It didn't feel like it every minute of every day, but I think it's worked out. And that is, when somebody asks you to do something that takes you outside your comfort zone, that makes you uncomfortable, where you feel fearful about your ability to succeed, as long as it's not illegal, unethical, or immoral, say yes. Because in that space is where you find what you're capable of. And if you're not sure, lean on others. I'll give you an example. I had an opportunity. I was the associate dean of my college business. I was running all of our graduate business programs, so I have a deep fondness for y'all. And I was asked to lead a university-wide initiative, and it was to start a whole branch of the university that has this big, and it needed to be this big. And I was like, no, I have a small child, I am an associate professor, I've led 3 people, and you want me to build a staff of 50. There's no way this makes sense. And I had several people that I trusted that said, you know what? Give it a shot. Somebody believes in you. Maybe you should believe in yourself. And it was terrifying, but I did it. Didn't do it alone. I did it with an amazing group of people and people all over my last university's campus. But I think about where I stand right now in front of your dinner. If I hadn't said yes at that moment, if I hadn't put my fear in my pocket, stepped forward and tried, I definitely wouldn't be here. I definitely would not have been able to lead my college, which as a faculty member is an honor that very few get to pursue or get to achieve. That moment on May 9th in 2011 changed my life, and it changed my life because I wasn't afraid to say yes. And so don't be afraid to say yes. Asterisk, as long as it's not illegal, immoral, or unethical, then definitely say no. But again, it's my honor to share this evening with you. While we only have 7, 2, 4, 6, no, just 6. See, now you're wondering about my statistics expertise, aren't you? I did not say counting. While we only have 6 awards here this evening, know that the work you do in our classrooms, in our research labs, in our community matter and truly, truly make a difference. So it's my honor to be with you, it's my honor to celebrate you, and it's my honor to serve you every day. Thank you.
All right, so let's thank Dr. Bott one more time for a fantastic keynote address. So in appreciation of Dr. Bott coming here tonight to give us a keynote address, we've decided to give her a very small gift. And this book is called The Great Water, a documentary history of Michigan. And it's about the stories, the diaries, the letters, the poems that people in Michigan who've made a great difference have written throughout hundreds of years. So we're giving this to you tonight to help you get a little bit more of an appreciation of the history of Michigan, and also hope that with you, we'll continue to make history at Western Michigan. Thank you. So in just a moment, I'm going to invite you to enjoy the dinner buffet outside in the lobby. But before I do, I want to talk very briefly about food. So I've been thinking a lot lately about the power of food, how it brings people together, how it allows them to express themselves, their culture, and bond with people who they maybe had never thought of bonding with before. And I think perhaps if there's nothing more powerful than food, but I'm thinking maybe even more powerful than food is the power of free food. So, to illustrate this story just a little bit, I want to tell you a quick story about a friend of mine. So 2 years ago, I was trying to decide what I wanted to do with my life, and much to my parents' chagrin, I told them I wanted to get a master's degree in philosophy, so of course they were very disappointed. I thought, what are you ever going to do with that? And I get this question all the time. So I'm talking with a friend of mine about what she wants to do, and she says, oh, Adam, what do you want to do with your career? And I said, oh, I'm going to go to graduate school, I'm going to study philosophy, I'm super excited to work with teachers and students and do my own research. So I say, what do you want to do? And she says, you know, I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and I think I'm going to go to graduate school too to study philosophy. So I pause, and I think, I've never heard you talk about philosophy in your life. Like, why do you want to go study philosophy? So she says, well, you know, I can't really decide what I want to do, and I've heard that in graduate school, if you play your cards right, you just get a lot of free food. And she said, I really like free food. So no interest in philosophy, you know, maybe I'll make some friends, but I'll get a lot of free food. So I kind of just roll my eyes. I think she won't be very successful, but, you know, she'll have some fun and get some free food. So over the first and second year of my graduate program, we kind of drifted away a little bit more and more. But just recently, I've had the opportunity to catch up with her again, and I wanted to hear more about her, the different free food that she's gotten, I guess, over her graduate program. So I asked her, how have things been going? And she starts to list all of these conferences, all of these research positions, all of the classes that she's taught, all of these different things that she's done. And so I think, wow, you must have really decided that you love philosophy, you've gotten into the discipline, I'm so excited for you. She kind of looks at me and smirks and she says, no, I just really enjoyed free food. So I said, okay, how did this happen? Explain this to me. She says, well, first, I went to some event, and of course it was advertising free food, so she goes right for the food and then sits down, and she so happens to sit next to a professor, and the professor's kind of talking to her, and they form this bond, and over this bond, it develops, and I'm sure there were more free meals that they shared together, and then the professor invites her to be a research assistant. And so she becomes the professor's research assistant, and then the professor says, you should really go to this conference. And then of course, the first thing she does is look up the conference online, sees if it has free food, right? And it does, but you need to write a really good paper to get into this conference. So she works a little hard, right, to write this paper. Turns out to be a really good paper. She gets into the conference and she's like, yes, I'm gonna get some more free food. So she goes to the conference, she presents it, and she does terrific, right? So all of these professors, all these people in philosophy are telling her, you know, this is a great paper. You should really go and try to publish it. You know, it'll help bolster your CV, move you forward in your career. And then she kind of pauses, and I look at her and I say, so, did you publish it? And she says, no, because as far as I know, you don't get any free food when you get a publication. So I'm sitting here and I'm just exasperated because I've been for the last 2 years sitting, studying, reading all these books and writing, and she has a way better CV than me. She's more prepared for the field than I am. And I thought, I did it all wrong. I should have went for the free food instead of all the research. Now, I don't think there are many of you here who are graduate students who went to graduate school just because you wanted free food. But I think that there's a certain lesson that we can take from my friend's experiences. And that is that sometimes we get so caught up in our research, so caught up in our sort of academic disciplines as a whole, that we forget the other things that make us better as people, that advance our careers, that help us form new relationships. And sometimes that's as simple as sharing a meal with someone that you've never met before, talking about their interests, their family, your interests, your family, your projects, your goals in life. And over things like eating a meal together or just sharing some time, we do make these incredible bonds that help move us forward in our lives and impact the lives of others. So tonight, as you enjoy your, I think it's free, right? Do you have to pay any? Okay. This wonderful free food, I hope that you take the time to talk to the people around you about the things that they're interested in, the things that move them. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening. Thank you.
We continue with our entertainment, and I'm sure you are all enjoying dinner. We can hear the knives and the forks and the plates talking to each other, so we know you're enjoying yourself. So as you continue to eat, we continue with our entertainment. And so this year, again, we are fortunate and lucky to have secured the Ebony Vision Dance Ensemble. It's a group of undergrad students at WMU who, through their art and talent of dance, do marvelous stuff across the university and their community. So to give you more about their presentation this evening, the leader of their group, Lyric, I'll turn it over to her. Ladies and gentlemen, make them welcome the Ebony Vision Dance Ensemble.
Hello everyone. As he said, my name is Lyric and I am the president of Ebony Vision Dance Ensemble. Today we are doing a mix of movies because that is the theme tonight. So try to guess the movies because it's gonna be not that tricky. But so we hope you enjoy. Thank you.
That's the new color, children.
What color is the sky? Ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor. You tell me that it's red. Ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor. Where should I put my shoes? Ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor. You say, put them on your head. Ay, mi amor, ay, mi amor. You make me un poco loco, un poquitito loco. The way you keep me guessing. I'm not even guessing. Now counts it as a blessing that I'm only un poco loco. Treat them giving you my love.
here with us tonight. As we read through all of the nominations of the amazing graduate students, I was struck by the accomplishments of all of those who contribute to our community. And tonight, we get the chance to honor 6 of those graduate students, but also to acknowledge that there's a number of you who also are doing amazing things. So tonight, we're going to take the opportunity to acknowledge 6 of their accomplishments. And before we get to that, I want to give them a heads up. So they were asked to prepare a short few words to say in response to their award. So tonight, we have the amazing Beth, who is going to be timing their speeches. And the individual with the shortest speech is going to get an award. So, you'll be pleased to know that you won't have any competition from a mark for this award. This is one award that you will not be able to win, as we all know. So, our first award is going to be in the area of community service. This award is meant to recognize graduate students who have demonstrated outstanding service to the WMU or Kalamazoo community. This could include actions such as community service hours, partnering with a local organization, fundraising for charities, and organizing events that benefit the community. So, with this, I would like to welcome up Caitlin Grizzle to the stage to accept her award in community service. Caitlin is a third-year student working towards a doctorate of audiology in speech, language, and hearing sciences. Her nominator described her as having incredible leadership skills as she gave countless hours of her time to guide the Student Academy of Audiology and raising over $6,000 to cover hearing aids and hearing-related health costs for patients. Please give a round of applause for Caitlin.
Okay, so my speech is going to be very short because this is my first time here and I wasn't really sure what to expect. So I was kind of just going to play it by ear and hope for the best. It was a great experience working with Student Academy of Audiology. Having come from an area that doesn't have a lot of money, it means a lot to me to try and raise money for people who can't afford hearing services. A lot of it's very expensive. Insurances don't cover much. It's just a near and dear thing to my heart, trying to help people who don't have as much. So I guess thank you so much for the nomination, and I guess that's really all I have.
So, the next area in which we'll have awards is the area of human affairs. These awards are meant to recognize graduate students who have demonstrated support for their fellow students, both graduate and undergraduate, in personal, non-academic areas through actions that display persistent care for their well-being. This could include a broad range of actions, but some examples could be providing food, emotional support, guidance, transportations, and so many others. Our first award winner in this area is Ahmed Fetzi. Please come to the stage. So Ahmed is a third-year student working towards a PhD in civil and construction engineering. His many nominators spoke of the selfless and welcoming support they had received from him, particularly international students who discussed the needs he fulfilled for them from the very beginning of their education here.
So, wow, I'm so honored to stand here and receive this award. First of all, I want to thank my spouse that she is a source of my self-confidence. She's at the conference and unfortunately she couldn't join us tonight. But then I wanna thank all of those people who nominated me. But now I want to share with you a concern of mine, if you don't mind. We will be done with the spring semester by a couple of weeks. And most of us, maybe some of us will graduate, some of us will do the internship, some of us will continue our research, and maybe most of us will go home. But there is a small community of students here at the Western that they cannot go home. Even if, because it means, because if they leave the U.S., they cannot come back here and continue their studies. They have to be here until finish their degree because of some immigration policies, new immigration policies. And even if they don't have any assistantship, summer courses and research during the summer. But I'm here to thank this small community of students, Iranian students here, and they are beyond any friendship. They are like my family. They make here feels like my home. And I would say that I owe this Human Affairs Award for all of them.
All right. Our second award winner in the area of human affairs is Lucretia McDowell. Lucretia is a third-year student working towards a PhD in counselor education. Her nominator spoke highly of her willingness to help, inspire, and selflessly devote herself to helping others within her position at Career and Student Employment Services. Her persistence in being the first to help and her passion in what she does was noticed by many.
Years ago, I came to Western as a first-year college student. It was my first time away from home. And the uncertainty and the nervousness that I felt quickly faded away as I was welcomed and embraced by individuals in an environment that encompassed acceptance, inclusion, and empowerment. It is an honor to now be in a position where I can extend that same welcoming embrace and support to help my fellow WMU students. I am so fortunate to work alongside the most incredible, amazing staff at Career and Student Employment Services, who every day model what it means to selflessly devote yourself to helping others. There's a quote that says, "Our service that we render to others is the rent we pay for space here on this earth." I want to thank the Graduate Student Association for this amazing award. I want to thank the Office of Career and Student Employment Services, and I want to thank my parents who are here with me for their sacrifice.
All right. Our third award winner in the area of human affairs is Herlick Wibowo. Herlick is a fifth-year student working towards a PhD in physics. His many nominators spoke of the support and connection they had experienced with him. They indicated he was often willing to give of his time for the betterment of others and to help others feel a sense of belonging here.
Hello everyone. I hope you have a very wonderful night today. I'm very happy to be here, very proud to be here among all of you. And I want to share a little bit story about myself. it was at 2014. I came here from one country in the Equator named Indonesia, where at that time the room temperature for 18 degrees Celsius is really cold in Indonesia. And I have to deal with the Michigan weather in Fahrenheit, and when the temperature can drop until minus 30 something. Wow, it's crazy change. But even when I first came here, I never feel alone. Like Dr. Jennifer Bott, our provost, told us that we can rely on to someone else with our vulnerability. I know that. I experienced that. I didn't know about anything from apartment, from everything. I just have to advertise myself to my Indonesian fellows, Indonesian association. Just mention that I will come. And every time we came, we usually came not really at the exact time of our apartment move in. And always the orientation start before our apartment move in date. Well, I was very grateful because my Indonesian friend just said that, hey, I will be in vacation this summer. You can just stay in my apartment. Oh wow! You invite the foreigners, strangers, people to your apartment? Wow! Come on! But yes, that's my experience as a first-year student. But this year, last summer, I feel the same situation about some of our incoming fellow graduate students. They always came here very, very early sometimes, little bit quite early, but the same problems. The move-in date always behind the orientation date. So I need to think something. I don't want to hear again and again every year the same complaint. I need to to do something. So this is wonderful community. When I step up, I always get my support from our fellow in the Solid Ground Christian organization, Pastor Mark. He didn't know who I am. I just came, hey, I have fellow graduate students, could you help me? To give them accommodation. What wonderful he is. He just like, okay, I will buy a bed for them, 2 beds. Oh, wow, thank you. The second organization, not just one, the second organization, I went to his house organization, thanks to Trevor, Shannon, and Dial. They always welcome me. And they host like maybe 5 of our fellow graduate students to stay. If they have to go to the hotel, it will be very expensive. So I feel like, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to help the new fellow graduate students to feel welcome in the Westerns. They are not alone, even from the first day they got here. And I don't have car, but luckily I have my buddy, my brother, Amar, who whenever I ask her, could you help me to pick someone at the airport? Yes, of course. Yes, yeah. So that's all I want to talk to you. And thank you very much for this nomination. This is the winning of the humanity of all of us, not just me. Thank you very much.
All right. Our next area of awards falls within the category of social justice and advocacy. This group of awards is meant to recognize graduate students who have demonstrated a commitment to justice, fairness, diversity, or inclusion. This could include actions such as defending students' rights in and out of the classroom, political advocacy, or just progress towards a more inclusive community by educating others on issues of diversity. Our first award winner within this area is Madeline Schell. Madeline is a second-year student working towards a master's degree in the School of Social Work. Her nominator spoke of her hard work and dedication in working with the iPeer group, which focuses on behavioral health and recovery, and felt that her impact would be seen far beyond her departure, particularly regarding her advocacy for inclusion and fair services, not only within the iPeer work, but also within her field placement, working with adults convicted of sexual conduct to rehabilitate and help them live meaningful lives.
Hi, thank you guys. I am humbled and honored to not only be nominated by my mentor, Dr. Jennifer Harrison from the School of Social Work, but to have subsequently been selected for this award. I would not have had the opportunity without my mom, who's here with me today, my friends, my educators, but most importantly, my clients, who I grow with on a daily basis on their journey to wellness. I kind of just want to keep it short and sweet because I really want to win this award, so I'm just going to end it now. Thank you.
All right. Our final award winner of the evening is Arezo Siddiqui. Arezo is a second-year student who will be graduating this April with a master's degree in educational leadership with a concentration in higher education and student affairs. Her nominators spoke of her involvement in a vast number of organizations and her ever-persistent dedication to fighting for equality in gender, particularly within the Afghan community.
Thank you so much. I would like to take a moment to thank Western for being inclusive and for being my home for these 2 years. And I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for my husband's support, Kevin Haynes, which is taking photo there. I love you, Western, and go Broncos.
All right, Beth, who had the shortest speech? Oh, Arezo, you can't leave yet. Congratulations, you have won a fancy wireless projector, or presenter. At this time, I'd like to welcome Vice President of the Graduate Student Association, Craig Morris, back up to the stage to present some special awards.
We can attest to the fact that the Western community and the community spirit is at Western. Everyone feels a part of and welcome at Western. And so, Amari and I, we decided that over the course of a year, we had a team that worked with us tremendously in everything that we do. And so we wanted to highlight the e-board member of the year. Now, we couldn't get to do that because when we look at the work of all the members of our team, they all have done tremendously well. So what we decided to do, nevertheless, we got 2 persons who tied for kind of the top spot. Huh? And so this evening, I want to recognize 2 of our e-board members who have gone above and beyond in what they do for all of us as grad students and for the WMU community. With no further ado, I'd like you to put your hands together as we say thank you to Adam Wagner, our director and editor, of our Hilltop Review journal. It is our peer-reviewed journal at WMU that we are very proud of. We have taken it to higher heights. We have had access, many persons have accessed our journal, and we are tremendously happy that Adam came in, he worked on the journal, he increased students who submit papers to be published, and so with that we know we are reaching more and more grad students. So Adam, would you mind joining me up here? And our second e-board member of the year is a vibrant, feisty, full of attitude, but for the right purpose. Right? We have those moments, but for the right purpose. And so I want you to make welcome the Advocacy and Legislative Affairs Director, Stephanie Hart. Stephanie has worked with our big brother grandfather organization, the National Association of Graduate Professional Students, in their advocacy effort in Washington for grad students all across this nation. Stephanie this year has accomplished many things locally. She has had many meetings with our local representative, and she did not just go by herself. All the time she has gone to meet with a representative, she has a team with her. And so our presence with our state legislators and other individuals, they know of us here at Western and what students are doing. And so we thought it was fitting to recognize Stephanie for her hard work, both nationally and locally. And so our Director of Events, Paola, will present to Adam, and our Director of Professional Studies, Professional Development, Teacher, will present to Stephanie. There we go. Now as grad students, we're all awesome. We're all superstars, right? And so, there's one student who may not be here with us next year for Make a Difference. But this student came to Western, and at every opportunity he had to serve, to give up himself, to go above and beyond, he has been doing so. He came in, he told us, hey, I may not be an expert at this, but where can I help? No matter where we are, what we're doing, our monthly meetings, our Make a Difference Awards, our professional development series, our 3-minute thesis, and also has served on the Graduate Financial Allocation Committee for 2 years. This individual inspired me to be a better leader and to be a better individual. And so, without any further ado, the Graduate Students Association wants to make a special recognition this year to Keith Little for his dedication to grad students here at WMU. Is Keith here? Keith is here. Keith is here. Maybe again, he's somewhere doing something, making sure. No, I'm for real. Keith will probably be outside now, making sure that all the foods are covered, so if we want seconds, we can go get them. That's the kind of person I'm telling you about. So, seeing that he's not in the room, we'll locate him. No, don't worry. We'll move on to our other special award. Now, this individual has served the grad student body at Western in various capacities over the years. This individual, professional and career kind of paused She's been going to retirement. She paused. I have a colleague who would say she retired. So she got new tires on because she's going to do more things. And so she retired from the graduate college after spending 10 years with us as grad students. She has support GSA. She started the grad ambassador program to where it's at today. And so we are tremendously happy this evening that we can be presenting to Miss Carson Leftwich. Now, Carson knew nothing about this. I personally went to drop off her invitation, and of course, in true Carson style, she said, "Oh, you want to stay?" And so what was supposed to be 10 minutes to drop off went to 3 hours, right? Yeah. So, just to tell you, so she has retired, and anywhere you want, you can always call him Carson. Right, Carson?
Yes.
All right, so let me officially present you with the award. Thank you. On behalf of us.
Thank you very much, everybody. Being here tonight reminds me of how much fun it was to be with the graduate students every day of my life for the last 10 years, and how much they helped me to grow. A lot of people in this room I have a lot to thank for, including the staff of the Graduate College. Amari, Craig, Damon, all the graduate ambassadors. It was wonderful working with you all. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Paola Isiano, GSA Director of Events, and I am here tonight because some people have asked me how us GSA prepared this wonderful event. So we create some special video to show you how we operate inside of the GSA. And maybe, hopefully, we can learn a few things of this wonderful video. I hope everyone enjoy it.
All right, everyone. So Amari showed you a little bit of what we do in our e-word meetings. Sometimes it gets like that, you know? We have to have that constructive conversation going on. But this is a total surprise, and I want all of you to turn your eyes again to the monitors. This is a total surprise for the individual we're doing it for. So take a look, enjoy your viewing. So, for those of you who are new grad students, Amari has served us for 5 years in various capacities. He was a grad ambassador, he was a vice president, and he went on to become the president. And he has worked tremendously hard with all of us. He has made the teams that he has led better individuals, better teams. And so, with his gimmicks and jokes and video production, we thought this was probably the best way right now to say thank you. And so I invite our president to come up and to receive this special award.
These people, you tricked me. trick me into this. But I'm a vindictive person. I'm gonna get you. Oh, you're gonna pay for this so bad. I don't know who was behind this, but I promise you, you're gonna pay for this. I really appreciate everything. I'm usually not the one to cry, but you got my tears out. I really appreciate everything that the people behind this and the support of all the graduate students, because every event or every activity that we do is only successful because you guys support it and you believe in the vision that we have and engage in it and try to collaborate with it. I mean, the decoration that we put in here today, since yesterday, it was only possible because so many people came yesterday to help with that. So many hands always in collaborating with us. So, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys.
I found it. So, good. Is everyone having a great time? I'm happy to hear that. So I've been invited up here, or told to come up here to talk about gratitude and to show thanks to everything that went into tonight. So if you guys could just help me with thanking so many vital parts of putting this night together. First, the hotel staff, and all, including everyone that's had a part in putting this together, from the contract, to create this event and make it happen here, to the bar, which I have been visiting a few times, to the servers who've been serving me water to keep me leveled. Thank you, and can we please give a round of applause for that? Also, our special guests that were spoken about in the beginning. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you for attending. Our performers, once again, give it up for them. They did amazing. Our DJ Tyler with the great theme music for people to come up, as well as the music for the ambiance. Thank you. Finally, just all of yourselves, round of applause for you, faculty, staff, and students that all attended and made this night as beautiful as it's become. And I swear this is the last time I have to clap for people. But the e-board, we want to just give my fellow e-board members a shout out and thank you, because without the planning and the consistent advertising and promoting of this event, I don't think it would come out this great, and we wouldn't be able to break bread and have such a great time tonight. So thank you to all of you. Okay, now here's the fun part. So, I don't know if all of you noticed, but this is breaking news. I'm keeping this a secret. I used to train a lot of dancers, right? So I'm gonna talk to you guys about dance real quick. So as you know, we have a DJ here, Tyler's there, and he's been playing some great music, but we're about to open this dance floor up. And I know that some of you think you're going home, which you're not, because I have secretly paid people to lock the doors. And we're gonna talk about dancing. Now, I want a good, clean dance floor. I don't want this looking like a Cardi B video shoot, okay? There will not be any gyrating. I have my eyes on you. Okay? Now, young ladies, we're gonna do this piece by piece, young ladies. I know that this is difficult because so much stuff on TV shows you how to dance the wrong way. But we're gonna take it simple, okay? This is what we call the Taylor Swift, okay? You just sway left and right, sway. Because once all of this starts moving, there's nothing else to talk about. If you can't get to the song Tyler's playing, just think of the most annoying Taylor Swift song on the radio right now. So move the body left and right in the air. You don't have rhythm, but who cares? Stuff like that. Don't worry, you got this, I got you. Those of you who got a little more flavor, Shakira, go ahead, do what you gotta do. But keep it G-rated. We have kids in here. Guys, you have it a lot easier. We don't have to do much, okay? A two-step will get us to where we need to go. Just left, right, left, Right, we can better it, and you know, growing up in a Haitian family, growing up with a family from Haiti, we created music off of common things. So, you know, we turn on your water, turn on your faucet, comb your hair, walk away, you know, stuff like that. Come on. So if you can't think of anything, just think of something you usually do. Pick up the baby. Eat your food. But you can make a dance, but I need everyone on that dance floor. So without further ado, Tyler, can we take it away and open this dance floor up?
Yes,
Let's
we
go.
can. Let's do it.